Hi, and welcome to episode 3 of Junior Rugby Analysis, where you get an insight into a game of schoolboy rugby through the eyes of a coach. So as a way of introduction, you're listening to Mr. Sean Graham, and I'm the Rugby Director at Nudgee College. In today's episode, we're watching some clips from the first half of the game in the 2019 GPS Round 9 fixture between Nudgee College's 14As and Churchy's 14As, played on Wilkes Oval at Nudgee. And the focus of this episode is on team defense. In this episode, we're going to focus on basically everything that happens in a team defensive system before the tackle is actually made. So we'll focus on the tackle and the tackle contest and the defensive breakdown in a later episode. But in this episode, I want to focus on the following points. So we're going to look at our alignment and our spacing. Focus on getting bodies on feet in order to win the numbers game and win the reload. I'm going to focus on communication, both verbally and using our pointers, and then line speed. So if we can get these parts right in a team defensive system, it's going to go a long way to making sure that we have a successful team defense. So we'll just roll the footage here in this first clip. So this is an example of a restart and defending a kick return. You can see I want you to focus on the urgency shown by the Nudgee defenders on trying to get back on their feet post tackle to make sure they got bodies in that defensive line. They work hard quickly to get into shape, to get their alignment and spacing right. It allows them to get square off the line and ensure there's line speed and pressure on the attack. You can see there's also good communication with those pointers up. You can see there's some organisation from halfback in behind, and there's a real urgency there to get up off the line and put pressure on the attack. In this next clip, you'll see Nudgee is defending some unstructured attack. So one of the tendencies for defensive sides when they turn the ball over is to clog the breakdown on that first phase. So it's really important that when you are defending a turnover, that you don't get caught ball hunting and heading to that first breakdown. So you want to get good spacing initially, straight away. So if an opposition attack, which a lot of teams do now, look to shift two passes on turnover ball, we don't get caught on the edge. So you can see here, Nudgee does a great job of getting reasonable spacing. There's probably a few too many bodies in those 1, 2, 3 channels next to the breakdown, but a really good effort to get up off the line and put pressure on that first pass, which forces an error. Unfortunately, there's a missed tackle here. You can see Churchy do a great job of making a good line break, but I want to really focus on the urgency shown by the Nudgee defenders to get back into shape and get in behind the ball. So although a penalty is conceded, you can see here there's really good numbers behind the ball and there's reasonable spacing as well. So again, there's a tendency, if we're chasing a line break, for defending teams to all hunt that first breakdown and not get good spacing and alignment. So you can see here Nudgee done a pretty good job of running back and get numbers in behind the ball with some good spacing and alignment. In this next clip, we are focused on defending a general play kick return. So there's two main factors to consider when you are defending a kick return, and that is line speed versus line shape. So if you have some of your defenders flying up out of the line and chasing hard on that kick, it can leave some holes in your defensive line. So if you have a look at this example here, you'll notice that Nudgee haven't got a good kick chase line organised, which has enabled Churchy to counter-attack, and Churchy do a really good job here of getting around that Nudgee line, or lack of line I should say, and it allows them to get some really good field position and get themselves in a good position then to score. So the key takeaway from this is sometimes you need to sacrifice your line speed on a kick chase to ensure that you've got a good line shape. Now sometimes some teams may have a policy where they'll allow one or two of their quick guys to run up out of the line and put pressure on that kick return, but it's important that in behind you've got a really nice wall to make sure that there's no gaps for that kick return. In this next clip, it's another example of defending a kick return. And as you can see, Nudgee haven't done a great job of getting that nice wall, but they get away with it in this particular example. But what I do want to focus on is what happens post tackle here. So Nudgee do a really good job of getting all the bodies back on their feet, which allows them to have plenty of bodies in the defensive line to put pressure on this exit kick. And as you can see, they have put a lot of pressure on the kicker, which provides them opportunity for a counter attack, and they go on and score. A lot of the issues that arise in a team defensive system can be solved through communication, and really specific communication. So in this next clip, you will see that Churchy have a really nice starter phase, and they get an opportunity here on the edge. Now, when we start defending edges, it's really important that our defenders are talking to each other. So they're nominating who's got ball. So some of these inside defenders here can release that winger and push him off by saying that I've got ball, you stay on your wing. Same goes when we're defending this line break. Some of these chasing defenders can be talking to the last man in the defensive line and telling him who they've got. So we don't have two defenders marking the one attacker, leaving a free attacker on the wing. So just to reinforce those points there, it's really important in training that we actually practice all the pre-work that happens before a tackle and a tackle contest and a defensive breakdown actually occurs. So a lot of issues can be solved if there's a lot of rehearsal and work off the ball pre-tackle. So those things around alignment and spacing and getting into shape really quickly, getting bodies on their feet so we got more defenders on our feet than the attack has on their feet, communication, over communicating, and the further away from the ball you are, the more you need to be communicating, particularly wingers and fullbacks and halfbacks if they're defending in behind the line. And then obviously once we get all those things right, it allows us to get set and get off the line nice and square to put pressure on the attack. Thanks for watching.
For more Nudgee skills, please subscribe and like below. Thanks for watching.